Hello everybody and welcome back. So we're going to continue with this, and in the last tutorial we made the mesh in Houdini, so we have the cable, and in this tutorial we're going to make sure that we are doing the just this cable here without the flow. It's going to be in the next tutorial. So we're going to continue with that. So our scene is here, so this is what we left off with the last one. And this is the shader. So we're gonna first off just make the kind of white part. Well, now I closed that scene, but I'm gonna do the ground, the first thing that you see. That's the white part in the on the cable. So I'm just gonna use this Vorone, and the way I'm gonna do try out with this. Well, no, sorry, I'm gonna do it from scratch. So we're gonna have this Verona node here, and if we plug it in like this, and we're gonna do the cable again, mesh cable. So here we have it, and now it bugs out, so we can't see it. It's bad, but we can do it like this. So if we put this scene here, we have it here instead. So what we're going to do, we're going to create the white structure. So if we do tiling and offset, well, first off, we can just save this. You see how it looks. Now we have the Vorone on it. So it looks like this. And if we do a tiling with this one, and do tiling in one direction, you see we have kind of stripes in one direction like this. And so what we can do now, if we just make a copy of this one, but we change this part here, we're going to leave it back to 1, and then we just do maximum like this. And you can already see it looks like some kind of whoa. So this is kind of the simple basic we're gonna have. That's gonna be under the second. Well, this is the first layer of the hose, and I'm just gonna clean it up. So that's the kind of the first layer. And what we want to do, we want to make lerp, so we can have lerp here. So if it's 0, that means we have no cover. I'll put it here. And if I what I mean by that, so we're gonna have a mask later here. This later, so we're gonna also have a color. We can actually do the color here. So whenever the value is 1 here, we have the color. Yeah, we're gonna have orange in this case. So if I plug it up like this, you see now it's orange. And if we then use this color, so and then if we have this, this is going to be a mask. So if we just do, we can do dots like this, you know, it's a lerp. Then you see we have this, can control it where the material going to be. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a noise for this, and we're actually going to do a Vorone here too. And if we plug it in and save, you see we're starting to get some kind of noisy thing going on here. And I'm just going to do a remap. So If we do a remap, and I'm just going to make it saturate, because this saturate node makes sure it's always between 0 and 1, because if you don't have between 0 and 1 in lerp, the colors can be a little bit funky. So if we do like this, and I'm going to do a really neat thing here. So if we do a clamp node, I'm going to do it and then I'm going to explain it. So this is going to be the holes. So this is going to determine how many holes we have. And we're going to do it in this node here. So you see, the sharper it is, the more or less holes it's going to be. So if we do clamp between 0 and 0.99, then if we do add here, 0.01, so what happened is now, if we put this one in here, the holes, it's going to be a slider between 0 and 1. So whenever this is 0, the other value will be 0.01. So, and if we do this to the maximum to 1, then the maximum going to be 0.99, and this one going to be 1. So here we have 0.99 and 1. So by having this, we can kind of control how much holes we want here. So now if you look here, you can see here we can decide how much holes we want on this hose. So this is nice, and we want it to be a little bit more not so uniform. So what we're going to do, we're just going to add some noise to this. And the way to do this, we can just minimize this stuff here, because this is done. This is the holes controller. So what we want to do here, we want to add some noise to this noise. So if we do a simple noise and actually a tile, let's see, and just an UV, because what we want here, this is the UV. So doing this is the same thing. And if we add something to the UV, we can change this stuff. So actually, I'm going to do a swizzle and do XI, because we, as you see here, it's 4 channels, so we don't need to be, it's expansive. So if we do like this, you see now it's only 2. We're just going to work on X and I. So these 3 nodes doesn't change anything. It's exactly the same thing as having this one in here. And what we want to do, we want to add this noise here. And now you see it's happening stuff here. And we're not going to do, I'm going to lower it to 50. So you see, here we can control the noise. And so let's say we have 50, but we don't want it to be this strong. So we just, again, do a remap node. And the input going to be from 0 to 1. And the output going to be what we control here. So, well, actually, the input, yeah, the input is from 0 to 1. And the output is going to be -1 to 1. And now we can just do a float here and do noise strength. And now we can just multiply this one. So we can decide how strong it's going to be. So let's see. Here we can decide. So here you see. Just do the noise a little bit so we can break it up. So actually we have it exposed in the materials, so we can check it out. Here we have the holes, and here we can decide how much. So we just need a tiny bit. So I'm going to leave it at 0.06. So we can actually hard code it, so it doesn't get too much clutter here. So I'm just going to remove noise strings and do 0.0605. Save it. Now you see we have the cable here. So this is kind of the beginning of it. And actually, I want the noise to be a little bit different. So here we can change how many. We can change how much we want. I want a little bit less holes. Bigger chunks. Now it's bigger chunks removing. Super nice. So now we have this setup, and let's see what to do next. And I guess that would be normals. So if we go in here, you can kind of see there is two things going on that I want to do. So it's very, very shiny, and we don't have any things going on here. So I want to address that. So first thing, well, let's do like this. If we take these holes, it looks very shiny. And I want that shininess to be a little bit, how to say, I want to break it up. And we're going to do that with a noise. So if we take this one and do it into remap in. So the noise is here between 0 and 1. So the black dots is 0 and the white parts is 1. So that's the in part. And what we want to output, so let's do this noise like 50. And I want, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it into smoothness. So smoothness 0.5 here makes this noise here, shininess here. So I want it to be somewhere about 0.5 to 0.6, or maybe even 0.7. So when I plug it into smoothness and save, you can see here, we break it up a little bit. And I think I'm going to do a little bit more contrast with it and not that strong. And also I want a little bit more noise. So let's try 100 and save it. Now you see we have this really nice smoothness going on here. So we kind of break it up. So I like that a lot. And now when we have the holes, I'm gonna actually just leave the smoothness to be the same. So of course you can mask it out to have different one here, but I'm gonna leave it. So if I'm just cleaning this up a little bit like this, yeah, this is gonna be nice. So here, what I want to do, I want to add normal. So if we just do a normal from height, this could work. See here, it works. So if we just put it into the normal, like this, and save. And now we have normal to it. So now we can just kind of decide how much holes we want on this cable. And it's a little bit sharp. I think I want to do this strength even less strong. Yeah, it's going to be fine. So that's how I'm doing that, actually. Super easy. So this is the cable. Isn't it nice? Oh no, it bug outs. Come on. What is this? It's stuck. Why is this happening? All right. So I'm gonna actually stop the tutorial here. Now I can't really move either a bit, but this is what we made. So in the next tutorial, we're gonna make sure that we do this flow that's going through here. So thank you so much for watching and see you in the next tutorial.